If you're just thinking about starting your business, or if you have just started your business and you're just in early days, this video is a must watch for you. Because today I will show you two things that will either make you fail or make you win in your first 6 to 12 months. These are the things that helped me get to my 100K profit in my business within my first 12 months as a coaching consultant. These are the things that helped me not to give up when I had no results in my business in the first few months. The other Saturday, I had a call with a guy from Los Angeles, a senior finance expert thinking about launching his own advisory practice for small businesses. We talked through his 90-day roadmap, his niche positioning, and how to turn his competitive advantage into a market-ready offer stack. At the end, he asked me a question that every early-stage entrepreneur eventually faces. Anna, you've seen quite a few people who have coached and you walk the path yourself. Can you tell me, what do people need to succeed in this transition? And I told him two things: obsession and execution. He didn't expect that answer, and I could see that he was pretty surprised. Most people don't expect this answer because people think the answer lies in some external things. You just need a new offer stack, you just need to do different outreach, you just need to change the niche. But in reality, the answers actually are within yourself, and they come down to those two things: obsession and execution. So let's unpack those. Obsession has a very negative connotation in the modern world. People hear the word obsession and immediately picture burnout or becoming a workaholic or this whole hustle culture thing. But the right kind of obsession is healthy, productive, and absolutely necessary if you want to build something that stands out. When I decided to build my business, I had zero experience in marketing, in sales, in content creation. I was a director of finance in big corporate with big team, processes, systems, all done for you, and with a very high salary. When I started building my coach consulting practice, I didn't have a big audience. I didn't have viral posts. I didn't even know how to write posts on LinkedIn. I didn't run ads. I didn't build complicated funnels. I had a simple offer stack and obsession with making it work. I wasn't dabbling. I wasn't trying. I was super committed. And you could see it from every single action that I was taking, whether it's investing money in myself straight away on hiring a coach and learning from that person, or whether it's not giving up when the days were really hard and I couldn't see any results. So here is what obsession looked like in practice. When something didn't work, I didn't spiral. I looked for a solution immediately. When I didn't know something, I paid for speed instead of wasting weeks Googling or ChatGPTing. When there were no results, I still showed up with the same focus. It doesn't mean I was not upset or frustrated. I was, but I still was following a plan. That mindset carried me to a 30K profit month in my first year, which brings me to top 1 to 3% of first year solopreneurs globally, without the typical vanity metrics, without a lot of followers, a lot of likes. At this moment, I have less than 7,000 followers on LinkedIn. Obsession is directed energy, is that laser focus, is that ability to say no to everything else but your future direction and your business. And it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice family or relationships. Because while building my business, I also supported my daughter through her first year of high school, spent deep quality time with my 4-year-old, stuck to fortnightly date nights with my husband, exercised 3 to 4 times per week. Obsession doesn't mean abandoning your life. It means your dream becomes non-negotiable. It becomes the thing you return to even on hard days. And here is the real indicator. Obsession feels delusional to others, but inevitable to you. People around you will see it as a risk, but you will see it as your purpose, your why. Here is a small action step that I want you to take this week. Think about what another shiny object you're trying to chase instead of getting laser focused and obsessed about your end goal and the core of your service. Write those down daily and then review at the end of the week. You will be surprised to see how many times you actually have to be able to say no in order for you to achieve the result in that one thing that truly matters. Another thing I highly recommend is for you to read a book called One Thing by Gary Keller. He talks exactly about this and how to get laser focused on that one thing and be able to say no to everything else that distracts you from getting there. Obsession gets you in the game. Execution keeps you there long enough to win. Entrepreneurs dramatically underestimate how much repetition is required before anything works. One client once asked me, Anna, so what do I do if my offer gets rejected? Everyone says no and nobody wants to buy. My answer was pretty direct. You do exactly the same thing you would do if they did buy your offer. Because emotionally, rejection feels like something is wrong. But strategically, you understand that rejection is just part of the process. That's it. You refine, you adjust, you continue. You have to always remember when you're just starting, out of 100 messages you will send to prospects, only one might buy. Once you start building more and more warm leads around you and get more people into your ecosystem, people who's going to trust you because you've been giving them a lot of value for free repetitively, that conversion rate will start to increase, but not at the start. And you have to be prepared to do a lot of volume despite the rejection. Execution means showing up consistently even when it's boring, following a structure, testing and iterating without emotional drama, doing those boring tasks, outreach, conversations, market research, content creation. You gotta get obsessed about inputs, not about outputs you can't control. When I hit my highest revenue month, people assumed I must have changed something major. No, I did exactly the same steps and exactly the same work, just with deeper skill, better conviction, and consistently repeating the process. The effect of compounding starts to work eventually. My routine looked like this: weekly content batching, uploading my YouTube videos on schedule, dozens of conversations with prospects each week, reviewing client work, refining the offer stack every quarter, debriefing what worked and what didn't. And I will be honest, there were days when I had zero motivation, days when I hated every task, days when I wanted to throw my laptop out of the window. I would come to my husband and I would just have a meltdown. And my husband would say, "Get your shit together, go upstairs, and keep putting in the reps." And you know what? That is exactly what you shall be doing when you want to quit. Because if you don't do that, you will never get results in the first place. So, the action step I really want to take you this week, I want you to choose one execution task, whether it's outreach, whether it's writing a post, whether it's having one conversation per week, one offer improvement, whatever it might be. I want you to commit to it, to do it every day for next 7 days. Not big, not overwhelming, but consistent enough to start building that discipline. Because clarity comes from action, not from thinking about it. To bring it all together, obsession is the internal fuel, the mental fire that makes your vision non-negotiable. Execution is the external engine, the daily behavior that compounds into results. Most people have one but not the other. They are obsessed but don't execute, or they execute for a week but aren't obsessed enough to stay long in the game. If you master those two, you become unstoppable and the results will absolutely come. I know this video might feel too intangible, too mindset focused, but I promise you, if you sort out those two things, all of the rest becomes a byproduct of those two. And if you want to know more on how to sign your first high-ticket clients step by step, check out my video here. As always, rooting for you with care, Anna.